the North American Free Trade Agreement has brought Mexico and Canada closer together than ever before. It has increased trade, travel, investment, and raised living standards for both of our peoples. Thousands of Canadian companies are now doing business in Mexico, and its glorious beaches provide warm and hospitable winter relief for tens of thousands of snowbirds.
President Calderon and I took part together at several summits, including those of G20 and APEC, as well as the Summit of the Americas and the Summit of North American Leaders. Last month, we made very important progress towards a resolution by beginning a special program.
Principles that underpin free societies and successful economies. Canada and Mexico are as one. Our governments also routinely cooperate on international issues as diverse as reform of international institutions, trade liberalization, and hemispheric security. Educational and cultural exchanges are flourishing, and our seasonal agricultural workers program is widely recognized as a model for international labor mobility arrangements. Here I'd like to quote President Calderon, speaking at the World Economic Forum in 2007, where he strongly defended our shared principles. Quote, "Many countries in Latin America have chosen a move toward the past," he said, "and among their most harmful decisions are seeking nationalizations, expropriations, state control of the economy, and authoritarianism." Mexicans have chosen a different, better way, the President said, and I quote again, "We have decided to look to the future and to strengthen democracy, markets, and investment."
Canada and Mexico have both fought against protectionism, and our two countries have launched an appeal for a reinforced system of global financial regulation.
And the Canada-Mexico partnership has fostered public and private sector cooperation across a wide range of economic sectors.
We are bound by a long history of friendship, as for the people of Mexico. Please allow me to highlight one fact that symbolizes the natural ties between our countries. Every year, at the start of winter, monarch butterflies depart southern Canada on a journey of 5,000 kilometers to my state of Michoacan in Mexico. There they spend the winter in the conifer forests, and they return to Canada when spring arrives. This fantastic journey spans the lives of several generations of butterflies which have their homes and their destinations in Mexico and Canada. The fact is that we have much in common, and Canadians and Mexicans share much more than belonging proudly to the same North American region. One of the most important transformations is the effort to uphold the rule of law in Mexico. I firmly believe that progress and sustainable development, human development, can only be brought about in a country of laws. For that reason, we have deployed the full force of the state to meet the threat of organized crime and to guarantee anew the security of the entire population. Today, there are close to 2,500 Canadian enterprises in Mexico. We have a long history of partnership and association. Today, we have many different cooperation mechanisms, such as the Canada-Mexico Partnership. However, in an increasingly global and interconnected world, I am convinced that Canadians and Mexicans must mutually avail ourselves of our advantages, of the advantages that we offer and plan and build a higher level of integration. Mexico is doing its part in promoting closer and better integration among countries in North America. Mexico is transforming itself into a modern nation, one that is safer, more competitive, more equitable, and more sustainable. We need more integration, not isolation nor protectionism. And we have agreed with Canada on that point in the G20 and other forums. Integration Integration is key in restoring strong, sustained growth in North America. For that reason, our future, and in particular, our economic prosperity and that which we want, depend on strengthening our financial, labor, and commercial markets. Our economies are complementary, and they must work together to raise regional competitiveness and foster the economic growth of the region. That will translate into more jobs, increased wealth, and greater well-being for both Canadians and Mexicans. At the end of this year, Mexico will host the 16th Conference of the States Parties to the United Nations Convention on Climate Change. My country is working to build consensus and to serve as a bridge between the economies of the developed countries and those of developing nations. As you can see, my friends, Mexico is a country in transformation. That makes us a more valuable neighbor and a strategic partner for the future of North America's prosperity. As I said previously, the world grows more globalized day by day and is divided into large, increasingly integrated economic regions. Some regions in Asia and the European Union have succeeded in combining their potential. I'm convinced that those regions that can maximize their comparative advantages will be assured of success in this age of unprecedented interconnections. Therein lies the importance of Canada and Mexico working together. Greater integration is what will make North America a more competitive economy, and we must redouble our efforts in that undertaking. I invite you to work with Mexico and alongside our common neighbor to forge closer economic ties and in consolidating North America as the world's most competitive and prosperous region of the world. Together, we can make that a reality.
On behalf of all parliamentarians, I would like to thank you, Mr. President, for having addressed us here today. This chamber has welcomed many distinguished guests in the past, but as the leader of Mexico, one of Canada's closest allies and friends, you occupy not only a place of honor, but really a seat at the family table. Señora Presidenta,
Mr. President, this is your home.
Canada and Mexico are as one.